Okay, so I do want to start this off by saying that in one part of this video, I do end up talking about a mother doing harm to her child and, well, basically child abuse. So if that's a touchy subject for you, I understand. Maybe you can watch another one of my videos, or maybe you could just watch another video that you find out there. But if you're okay with me talking about this, I thank you for giving me your time and for watching my video. I also hope that I don't come off as being disrespectful or being insensitive about the topic. But nevertheless, I did try to do my best with talking about this, and hopefully you guys like the video, and thank you for watching.
Hmm? Aren't those two... Do you really believe it? That unconditional friendship truly exists? Something as incredible as that. How could it be real? Humans and Digimon aren't meant to be together. When they are, they only make each other miserable. The Digi-egg!
It's hatching!
Hey, what the heck's going on?
We have to do something or the whole world will suffer.
This all started because of you and what you wished for. The key to stopping this is Louis.
Okay, guys!
Right, let's go! We have to try and see things from each other's perspective.
Hey, David!
Yeah, I know what we have to do. But I have full faith in Louis.
You see? That's what friendship is!
And go!
Okay, so Digimon Adventure the Beginning was for the most part a very good movie, and I found myself enjoying it quite a lot when I watched it in theaters. I was fortunate enough that the theater near my house in my hometown actually was playing it, but I know that many people did not have the chance, especially if they are not in living in America or in Japan, but I do know there are other countries apart from America and Japan that this movie was shown in theaters, but right now I'm just not sure which countries those are. But I digress. As far as this franchise goes, it's one that is near and dear to my heart, almost as near and dear as Pokemon, if not the same level. I grew up watching them, and I also still have the cassette tape from the original Adventure series. It was the episode with Izzy, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so watching these characters all grown up and watching them again on a big screen was something that brought on the nostalgia. However, I do like the original Adventure cast more than the old 2 cast. This movie didn't really do a lot to change my mind about that, but I still think that it handled the characters pretty well for the most part. Yes, some of them, like TK, Hikari, and Cody too, got sidelined a lot in this movie. I still think that it's pretty good. And plus, Hikari and TK, they had their time to shine in Digimon Tri and also in Digimon Pidna Final Evolution. So I didn't really have problem with TK Hikari getting sidelined, but I kind of did have a problem with Cody getting sidelined. But as for the other characters, such as Davis, Yoni, and Ken, I believe they were handled pretty well throughout the movie, especially Davis. I don't really remember liking him that much growing up watching the show, but in this movie, I actually ended up liking his optimism, his simplicity as a character that was able to lighten up the mood when she got very dark, and provided a very good contrast to the new character, Nusis, I believe he's called, and what he was going through. There were times where I thought that they were probably doing that way too much, and it didn't feel like it was the right time, such as when David and Dreamon were talking about making ramen And this was, mind you, this was before they were going to go to the final fight, which also happened to be the only fight in this show. So I knew felt that that was the right time to talk about making ramen. And so, hey, we are good friends, but nevertheless, he was still, other than that one scene, he was used pretty well. And I actually ended up liking his character a lot more. I also like his dynamic with Lucius, the new character that was introduced in this movie. I think that they balance each other very well. Although there are things that I liked and disliked about Lucius' backstory and what the story is about as a whole, because this movie, make no mistake, is very much Lucius' story. And it doesn't really have that much to do with the original O2 cast. So even though the director says that this movie can be made without the O2 cast, I have to disagree because I felt like this movie could have been made with some of the other cast that Digimon has, such as Digimon Tamer, Digimon Ghost Game, especially the part in Lucius' backstory. It felt kind of like Ghost Game, so I don't know why he said that this movie had to be with this cast, other than the fact that Digimon Adventures is a very popular franchise for them, and it's one of the ones that really took off. Apart from, I have to say, Digimon Tamer, but that one is more of a niche for the die-hard Digimon fans. But speaking of his backstory, although I can appreciate the fact that Digimon is starting to get into more darker themes, such as child abuse, I felt like it wasn't handled quite right, in my opinion. Keep in mind, I have no experience with this, nor do I know anybody that I could think of that has experience with something like this. But to me, the things that his mother had done to him, and the things that the little parts that we saw, to me, it was very unforgivable. When I saw the part when he was crying outside of the balcony during winter in the snow, with the only thing that on him was a skinny t-shirt telling his mom that he was gonna be a big kid now, that he just turned 4, it was his 4-year birthday, that he wasn't going to go to the bathroom on the couch, which I'll explain that a little bit later. That really my reaction was pretty much the same reaction that David had, and I also felt like giving that mother a piece of my mind. But the thing that made it so hard, especially looking back at it, the mother pretty much got mad at him because he was so terrified of her. He didn't. I felt like he didn't want to ask his mom permission to get out of the couch, because if he would have said something to her, or if he would have gone without her permission, he felt like he was gonna get a beating. That's going from the way that he reacted to him being on the couch and to him just looking at, not even touching the machine, but just looking at the machine and talking to his dad, who unfortunately was very sick and looked like he was in his deathbed. All of that makes me think that by that point, he was just too scared to do anything. So when his mother said, "Sit on the couch, just watch TV, don't do anything," that's what he did. And he still got punished for that. And that felt like very psychologically damaging to a child. So when he forgave her at one point in the movie, and I'm sorry that I'm doing spoilers, but um, I just think that, especially if you're gonna watch this with a kid, or if you're taking your child to watch this, which I know that Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 2, Digimon Tamers are all on Hulu, so perhaps younger kids have watched the original series. This might not be also appropriate for little kids. It might be a little bit too hard to watch. But going back to his backstory, yeah, I just don't agree with how they ended that and how they made him forgive his mom and how they did pretty much closed that story with him talking to his mom and him telling her when they go back to the past, telling her that just look at the kid that you have right behind you. He's also suffering with you. And if you pay attention to what he's really saying, what he really wants, I think you'll understand him better. Writing something to that degree, he said. And to me, if this was a real life situation, it would not have ended that easily. And I noticed that somebody like her in real life would have changed that easily as well. And if Digimon is going to continue on having these darker themes, these more mature themes in their movies, I think they should do do a little bit more research to people who actually did unfortunately live through something like this had to do, for example, or whatever else they're planning on putting in themselves when they eventually make a new movie or make a new animated TV show. But before I move on to the other part of Lucid's backstory, I do want to kind of clarify the fact that the reason that I believe that he was so afraid of his mom and so afraid of his mom hitting him was because when we saw her taking off his clothes and just leaving him with the t-shirt, you could see that his body was full of bruises. And so I don't think that it's too much of a stretch to believe that she has made it a habit of not hitting him and borderline beating him. But I think another problem with his backstory and of the movie as a whole is the fact that his Digimon is supposed to be the main bad of this movie, and yet he didn't really feel like a threat, nor did I feel like his Digimon was really evil. It was more so that the problem between Lucent and his Digimon was basically that Lucent did not know how to communicate, and neither did his Digimon. His Digimon basically just assumed what Lucent wanted and didn't really try to ask him or to get any more information prior to this. So that to me was a really big issue with the plot. I the plot or the story, I guess you could say, of this movie. And yeah, another thing that this movie does do is even though I think I'm gonna wait till the very end to talk about this, but it does mess with the whole lore of Digimon Adventure, especially if you watch Digimon Try, Digimon Kizuna, you this really does change a lot, and at the same time it changes nothing. But like I said, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But as for him, as for Lucas and basically the big problem of the movie is just communication. It just makes the movie feel a lot more childish, especially if you compare it to Digimon Kizuna, which felt a little bit more mature. Especially if you look at the themes that Kizuna had revolving growing up and all that, it did have a more sense of maturity. Other than that, I think the other big problem is that there was only one fight throughout the whole movie, which I didn't really realize until I started watching other people's reviews of this movie. But and personally, that didn't bother me because I I don't really mind not having that many fights, especially if you're if the character that you're focusing on is a character that I like. Which I do like the characters, and like I said, I like the new characters that they added. But I know some people they do like to watch this people fighting And I mean that is okay because this show is kind of like a battle shonen type of show. So I have no problem with that. The only thing is that I don't think that if you're mainly here just for the battles, you will not find a lot of enjoyment out of this movie. And if you're the type of person that really look at the lore, the history of the particular show, or specifically of Digimon, you you're gonna have a lot of problems with this movie and the fact that in this movie claims that Lucius or is the first Digigescent, but if you watch Digimon Try, you will know that this, this is not true. And even if you watch the original show, but it's specifically Digimon Try because they actually introduced two of the original Digigescents in Digimon Try. But if you take out Digimon Try and you make it as a non-canon movie series, I think that would fix a lot of the problems with that part of the story. But to me, that wasn't as big of a deal. And one one of the things I did want to talk about is that I felt that this story did need a big life plot with Ty and Izzy. And the reason why I say this is because in the beginning they set it up to where Ty and Izzy were working with the government because of the big Digimon egg that's in the sky. So because of that and because of things that happened throughout the story, they at one point Ken digivolved Wormmon into Wingmon to help Lucius when he was falling from the sky, and they got chased out by the police. And mind you, this happened two times. It was kind of like a running gag where they were being chased by the police. And you would think that if Ty and Izzy were working with the government, that somebody would have told them that that they saw this group of kids hanging around the big Digimon egg and they were messing looked like they were messing with it. So that would have to me would have made more sense if Ty would have at least called Hikari or if Ty would have told Izzy to get contact with them and then they could have filled them in with what was going on. But instead, it looked like they had zero contact with one another, which is kind of sad. I know that they don't have their Digimons anymore. At least Ty, Matt, and Sora don't. I believe Izzy still does have his Digimon. Even so, if you're gonna put something like put that little detail that they're both working with the government to make sure that what's going on with the Digimon is won't affect the the rest of the population or Japan. I think that they should have also made some room to add those characters in, especially since characters like Joe, Sora, and Mimi, they did not have it very much to do in Kizuna. I think this would have been a good opportunity for them to have something to do and for them to try to help out the O2 game. But yeah, I think to me that just didn't make any sense. But overall, even though it was a pretty simple story, and I do feel like I like Kizuna a lot better than this one, I it it was still a good movie overall, and I found myself enjoying it more so than not. Again, for me, nostalgia might be a very big factor for this, but nevertheless, I enjoyed watching these characters again. I enjoyed watching them grow up, and I also enjoyed that, for example, Yoli, she has a much more mature feel about her, and I believe I mentioned this before, but to her and Ken apart from Davis, were the the three standouts out of the original cast. But yeah, anyway, I ended up enjoying it, although not as much as I thought I would. I think it has more positives than negatives for those who are really big fans of the series. But that could be due to my nostalgia. And anyway, I'm starting a new background in this video. So if you guys can, I will try to see if I can open up the comment section and you guys can leave me a comment saying which background you prefer, is this background or the previous background that I used during my Castlevania Nocturne review. I will say that this one is a little bit more easier for me to edit, but I'm not sure which one I should pick, or I could also try some other ones. Anyway, just let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching the video and have a good day.